Hey guys, it's Kat again with Shalom Y'all Peace Project. Shalom Y'all Pig Rescue here in Northeast Georgia. Just giving you guys a little Memorial Weekend update and also showing you some footage of just hanging out with the kids this week. The weather was actually a little nice this week, so they really enjoyed hanging out in the woods. Some of the footage is from just hanging out with the kids in Gen Pop. Here's Peter. He's one of the noisier kids. We set up our Patreon this week, so I'll be releasing a little bit more of the background stories on each of the pigs, and you'll get to learn a little bit more about them, maybe get a little bit more in-depth footage of each of them individually, and just get a little bit more ad-free content. Not that we have ads anyway, but just more in-depth content and a little bit more individual background on the residents here, and a little bit more in-depth stuff about more about our mission, because we do a little bit more than just rescuing the pigs. We initially set out to do a lot of community outreach. We like to provide the ability for youth who need probationary hours. That's my girl Hazel. We'd like to have that available to youth who enjoy working with animals, but we don't expect backbreaking labor or anything like that. Anything they can do to help the animals, and also be able to connect and socialize with them, because that's a win-win situation for everybody. It's a little bit of healing for the animals and for the youths as well. But we also like to use whatever donations are available to us as a nonprofit organization and give it back out to the community. Sometimes we get plant-based donations and we're able to kind of divvy it out to people who are in need. Same thing with just food in general. We're able to give some to the animals and also to people who need something to eat. So just a little bit of an update on Big. That photo is actually from his return from a little bit of let's say a trip around the world in 8 hours. He had a little bit of an adventure. It'll work for a minute. In hindsight, it's actually pretty hilarious, and the full story and possibly some hysterical footage will be available to our Patreon patrons. I'd like to be able to get some access to some of the footage. Yes, there will be some dash cam footage if I can get access to it. I don't want to promise anything. Mr. Big. The entirety of the story, like I said, in hindsight, is pretty hysterical. As it was happening, it was a crisis mode. Anytime something happens with an animal this large, you can't really stop it. If a 1,500-pound pig wants to do something, a 1,500-pound pig is gonna do something. And we've battened down the hatches a little bit more, and honestly, Big has kind of settled in a little bit. Initially, we kind of figured out that Big just really misses his dad. He was so well cared for, and he's really the only resident we had that just genuinely wanted to go back to where he came from. He wasn't adjusting to the change as well, because he was just so genuinely spoiled by his previous owner. And we gotta give it up to his dad for that. It was just, it's so sweet when his dad has come to visit now that he's settled in a little bit. Now he knows that he's going to be seen by his dad, but he also knows that he's safe here and he's happy here. He really likes his place. His temporary pen is pretty large, and we're going to be continuing to expand it. He's going to be having neighbors, but he did, on his little expedition, get to meet some of the pigs through the fence, and he's so gentle. I'm so excited to have him here at the sanctuary, and like I said, his little adventure, it was nerve-wracking to say the least, and apparently it's something that he's done in the past on multiple occasions, but we can look forward to it not being something that happens again, since we've got this place pretty well locked down, and just the way the property is laid out, it's not going to be easy once we've set up this gate in the back and the gate in front of the barn. So it's really nice to know that he knew to come home right to the front gate, and
What are you doing?
that he's just happy here. It's only been a few days as far as since his, little
What are you doing?
mishap, but it's also only been about 2 weeks since he's been here, and he's already made massive improvements. So we're really proud of him. He's really a special guy, and like I said, we just set up our Patreon. We have more about this story, and I think a lot of you guys will get a huge kick out of it. It's really fun to tell. So join us on our Patreon, and we'll keep in touch with you guys later. Check out the description for our social media and follow